All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, last week, the Arizona Cardinals gave quarterback Kyler Murray the contract extension that he was seeking. But as more details emerge on the deal, to me, it's a bad look for both he and the franchise. And I say that because the Cardinals gave Murray a 5-year deal for $230 million, with some reports having the guaranteed money at $160 million, while others have it at 105. But aside from that, there is language in Murray's contract for a homework clause. In Murray's deal, he must engage in 4 hours weekly of independent film study, which means anything outside of the team facility. And for the Cardinals to have to put this in writing, it's a bad look for them as well as the quarterback. Now, from Arizona's standpoint, if you do not believe that Murray is studying film to your standards, then why give him $230 million? Now, Murray is going to be 25 years of age next month, and he has already accomplished some good things in the National Football League, which includes being a two-time Pro Bowler as well as the Offensive Rookie of the Year back in 2019. But preparation is what separates average players from good and the good players from the greats. And regardless of the sport, everyone at the professional sports level has skill and talent, or else they would not be there. But the preparation to their craft is what keeps them there. And to me, I see this, and the Cardinals are not blameless in this whole thing because I've said it before, not just with the Cardinals, but I've also said it with other organizations. And it's not just here, it's all across sports nowadays. If you're going to take a guy first overall at this position, and the quarterback position is the most important position in the National Football League, you need to have yourself a veteran quarterback at least for 1 year, even if that player doesn't start, just so he can show this guy the ropes. And the Cardinals have never done that. They basically gave Kyler Murray the reins from day one. And it's a situation, I know that things have changed with the rookie contracts in the NFL, but nonetheless, everybody is not ready to start right away, maybe physically, but mentally, because there is a transition from the college level. And part of the transition from the college level is your preparation towards the game, because now you are officially a professional. So I look at the Cardinals, they never put the right people around Murray because at the end of the day, if you're Kyler Murray, how are you going to know what it takes to be a professional if nobody's shown you? So this is why I'm not going to let the Arizona Cardinals off of the hook on this whole thing. And to me, at the end of the day, some veteran players, they have a way of getting a message across in a fashion that a coach can't. And you need that bridge sometimes. And the Cardinals obviously doesn't don't have that. Now, to me, when all of this sums up, this whole scenario, this is why the Cardinals only have one Super Bowl appearance to their credit, to go along with lengthy bouts of futility, which dates back to the franchise's time in both St. Louis and Chicago. And I say this because, when you take a guy in the first round, especially first overall, like Arizona did several years ago with Kyler Murray, you have to do your homework. And no pun intended. And it's not just about what Kyler Murray did for Oklahoma on Saturdays. What about his preparation throughout the week? What are his coaches saying about him? What are his teammates saying about him? What type of student was he? A lot of these things factor in to teams' decisions to take or not take a guy. So for Arizona to have now put this in his current contract, in my opinion, excuse me, that means that they didn't do their homework when they were scouting Murray coming out of Oklahoma and heading into the NFL draft. So Arizona just mortgaged their future at the most important position on the football field on a quarterback that they have question marks about. Good luck with that. Film study and preparation, they're no-brainers for quarterbacks. Obviously, you have to know what everybody's doing, not only on the offensive side of the field, but also the defensive side of the field, because it's all about making adjustments on the fly, trying to adjust to blitzes, different coverages, you name it. But with that said, it's going to be a long day at the office if this does not change. Now, obviously, you have some great defensive players out there in the NFL. You also have some great defensive coaches. And these guys adjust on the fly. And if they pick up something and if they see something in your tendencies, they tend to tee off on it. And this is a situation right here. Maybe this is part of the reason why Arizona has stumbled in the second half of the last couple of years after those hot starts, because teams have made adjustments on them. But even with that said, I'm not letting Cliff Kingsbury off the hook for this either, because he's a part of that brain trust, and he's a part of that brain trust that's supposed to make Kyler Murray a better player. So again, for them to put this in writing in a contract is simply a bad look. And from Murray's standpoint, what happens when the real money of this deal kicks in? Because we've seen it where quarterbacks who take these big contracts in a year or so, the team around them changes, because due to the salary cap restrictions in the National Football League, teams cannot afford to have some of the quality players that are currently on said team there anymore. So we see players being released, we see players being traded, and then you have to start over at that position. And with that said, in doing so, more is put on the shoulders of your quarterback, not only from a playmaking ability, but also a leadership ability. And excuse me, this is one thing I question about the contract last week. Did the Cardinals believe that Kyler Murray was ready to be a leader? And by them having to put this clause in his contract, they obviously don't. You're paying him not only for what he does on Sunday, his preparation throughout the week, and also his leadership in the locker room and for your franchise. So Kyler Murray is going to get some of the blame on this, but again, he is still a young man. With that said, this falls into the lap of the Michael Bidwells, the Steve Kimes, and the Cliff Kingsburys of the Arizona Cardinals organization. Again, like I said at the start of this, a bad look for everybody involved. This is unprecedented, excuse me. It's embarrassing. And more notably, I think it's more embarrassing for the Arizona Cardinals as a franchise than it is for their franchise quarterback. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.